Hello everybody, this is Fernando for the latest ghost and horror stories video. Well, I haven't done one of these in a while, mainly because most of the stories that I talk about tend to fall on the ghost and spirit side. But every now and then I do come across a string of stories that I feel falls into more of the horror side, which is why I'm doing this one here. I was reminded of this website the other day, something that I used to see a couple of years back and read some of the entries there. And then just the other day, Facebook brought it back to me. It's a really great website. It's called the True Horror Stories of Texas.com. Or if you go to the Facebook site, it's True Texas Horror. They include lots, and I mean lots, of submitted stories from people here and around Texas. And I'm talking local, like some areas and towns that I've never heard of before, even though I'm here living in Texas. So I wanted to focus on two of them as a good example. One of them has to do with an eerie encounter with a black cloud. And then another one has to do with a strange encounter with some kind of black spirit of sorts, something that the person still didn't know too much information about. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's share those two entries here. I'll give my own thoughts and opinions. Let me know what you guys and gals think too. Here's the first one associated with the black cloud. It comes from a user by the name of Kevin Ibarra. He states, well, this actually happened last night, and this morning I stumbled on this cool blog. What are the odds? Anyways, last night after spending some time at my friend's house here in Mission, Texas, I was driving home on La Homa Road. I live out in the Colonias passing 107. So I take this road all the time at night. It's very dark, no lights at all. It's around 12:40 a.m. when I was driving down the road, almost home, when a few feet in front of me, just about where your car light ends to see what's in front, I see this large black cloud, a dark black cloud, float across the street very fast. It wasn't translucent. It was like a dark, pitch black cloud, and then poof, before it reached the other side, it was gone. I wasn't scared at first. I was like, what the F was that? As it had no shape, no form, just a black cloud floating very fast. After I drove a little more startled, I started freaking out, looking in the rearview mirror with fear that it was following me. So I got home, got off the car fast, and went inside. I watched some TV to put out my mind what happened till this morning. What it was, I don't know. It was just very strange, and that's my encounter. I haven't told anybody else about this, and now it's 11 a.m. Then that's it. That's everything that the user Kevin Ibarra stated, so let's quickly talk about that here. Mission, Texas, I know where that is. It's just one of those areas that is way down south, but otherwise, and when I say south, I mean like south, like we're talking the Mexican border is right next door. So it's a place there that if you're out there, it's true. Like what this guy says, you're out there at night, most of the other surrounding areas, maybe even part of the town, is very dark. There's very few lights. I've been to such cities before in my ghost hunts, and it's absolutely true. Your headlights are the only thing that's out there. So him seeing this dark pitch black cloud suddenly floating very, very fast across the street, doesn't that give you like the heebie-jeebies, like the idea that this thing shouldn't be there, but there it is, right in front of him, darting from one place to another. Obviously, there were no other black clouds floating anywhere, and the impression I got was that it was a cloudless night, something that you could at least see the moon and so on. So what was it? What could it be when it comes to that? The idea that he was obviously freaking out and going home as quickly as possible, I would absolutely do that too. But I totally understand what he was mentioning when it's dark and it's no lights out there. It is pitch black. You got to be there, folks, to see it, to see what I mean. It's otherworldly. If you live in a city like I do most of your life and then you're suddenly out there, it's definitely a whole different environment. The next one comes from a user by the name of Initials OR. Their case, again, has to do with some dark figure, some dark shadow or something that they saw. And here's what they state. Lightford, Texas, Halloween 2006. This is a true story. I swear it on everything I love. First, a little background building up to the story. I was born and raised in Raymondville, Texas, which is in Willacy County. Everyone from this area knows there is zero entertainment around here. So when I turned 21, my buddies and I started going clubbing to different cities around the valley. As luck would have it, good old FAR PD pulled me over, charged me with DWI, and had my license suspended. I said goodbye to my car keys and hello to my old mountain bike. On the day this story happened, I was going to visit my friend who lived in Lyford, which is 4 miles from Raymondville. The most direct route to my friend's house is US Business 77, but due to traffic and embarrassment, I usually rode my bike on a dirt road that runs parallel. So I made it to my friend's house without any problems, and we partied for Halloween. It was about 2 a.m. when I decided to leave. I told my friend goodbye and hopped on my bike and began pedaling. With US Business 77 now clear of traffic, I could take the paved way all the way to Raymondville. Just as you leave Lyford city limits, they have a white water tower, and next to that is 2 big crop fields with a dirt road between them. There were no crops at this time, nothing but dirt, and the visibility was so good I could see across the field back Highway 77 with ease. And so as I am almost near the dirt road separating the fields, I look and I see a dark figure standing there next to a utility pole. At first, I am confused. Who the hell would be standing out here in the middle of the night? And then the realization hit me. It was a dark spirit. I did the sign of the cross and began pedaling like my life depended on it. I also never looked back. And so I made it home safely that night, and now I am 10 years older, but I will never forget that night. Thanks for reading. And then he has the initials OR. So let's go ahead and let's talk about that here. This is a good example of places that I have no idea about. Lyford, Texas, Raymondville, Willacy County. I have no idea where these are located. If someone knows more than I do on that, let me know. But I get the impression that these are once again middle of nowhere, small Texas towns. There's got to be like hundreds of them throughout the state of Texas. Just small towns that, like my apartment complex, has more population than they do, but they exist. They're out there. And so here's this dude who cannot drive because of his DWI, and so he's taking his bike. He went from one road to another to a party, and then decided to come back, and then there it was, a dark figure standing right next to a utility pole. When I read that, I got like there was purpose. Like, in other words, it was standing there. It knew that this guy OR was about to turn or look in that area, and so it was quote unquote looking right back at him. How creepy is that? This is the kind of stuff again where you don't expect something like this out there in the middle of nowhere, but it's there. And so him, just the figure of him, pedaling as quickly as he could, he got out of there, and then obviously it didn't do anything else afterward, but who knows, maybe that sign of the cross was impacting things too. But either way, though, he didn't get any harm from this dark figure or dark spirit. And then that was it. No other stories. So let me know if anyone has any experience like that. Have you seen out there in the middle of the field, and it's very creepy when you think about that, a dark shadow or dark man, something like that, dark spirit that's just standing there. Let me know if anyone else has more experiences like that. All right, everybody. Thanks again as always. Take care. Bye.